For sure, let me tell you about my experience with birth control. I'm currently 24. I went on birth control when I was 16, and people go on birth control for all sorts of different reasons. I went on it purely to prevent pregnancy. I was a senior in high school. I had a boyfriend. My mom thought it would be smart if I went on it, especially since I was going to be going to college within the next year. So she took me to a doctor. We talked about my options, and the doctor told me about this birth control called Nexplanon, which is an implant that goes in your arm, sits under your skin. It's supposed to last for 3 years, and it is highly effective, and you really don't have to think about it. So I was like, this sounds perfect. That's what I went with. I found the insertion process very easy. They numb your arm up and then you don't feel anything as they actually insert it under your skin. She did warn me that it could affect my menstrual cycle, and I was like, oh, okay, like I've never had very bad like side effects or anything. I found for about 3 weeks, I didn't notice any changes. Well, I didn't have my period for 3 weeks, but then when I got my period, I bled for like 3 weeks straight, like every single day. And so I went back to the doctor. I was like, I don't want to be on this. I don't think this is the right one for me. And she was like, okay, listen, I have a pill birth control I'm going to give you. Take it on the days you bleed. It should stop it. That worked to the point where I actually did not bleed for all of college, which she did tell me, like, some people go on this and have like a super irregular cycle. Some people go on this and just don't bleed the whole time that they're on it. And after I took a couple pills for a couple days, I did not bleed for the next 3 years. I know some people prefer to have a period. I was totally happy not having one at all. I felt very secure in this birth control, so I wasn't really worried about anything. So after my 3 years were up, I went to Planned Parenthood. I was like, all right, it's time for my new birth control. And that's where I was told, hey, they don't advertise this, but you can actually leave it in for 5 years. And I was like, you sure? Do you promise that I am not going to get pregnant if I stay on this for another 2 years? And they were like, yes, absolutely. So I stayed on it for another 2 years. The 5-year mark comes around. I honestly can't remember if I was experiencing any sort of bleeding or spotting at this point. I decided to get it again. I had had a great experience the first time around. I was a huge advocate for Nexplanon. I told like all of my friends who were thinking about going on it, yeah, I love this birth control. I think it was just the best decision ever. I don't think about it. I don't bleed, yada, yada, yada. I had multiple friends who went on it, and that being said, my best friend actually also was experiencing kind of an abnormal period, and so she went to her doctor. She told her doctor about my experience of years prior going to the doctor and them giving me some sort of birth control pill to take, made my period stop, and her doctor said, oh, we don't do that anymore. I have not looked any further into this. I don't know if that was just her doctor saying that or if that like is a thing. That was her experience. So also the first time I went on it, the only like physical change I really noticed was I was like, I swear my boobs are smaller, which I feel like a lot of people gain weight on birth control, but that was not the case for me. Go on my second implant after 5 years, couple weeks of no bleeding, and then I get my period. And here's where it goes downhill. For the next year, I was at least spotting, if not just straight up bleeding every single day. I am so anxious about making appointments. I put off going to the doctor for so long because I was really just hoping it would just